Hey everybody, what is up? My name is Martin and welcome to our YouTube channel, TripleADigest. Now, we cover a range of games on this channel, but the primary focus right now is Rockstar's Red Dead Redemption 2. Up until release and after release, unless something massive happens at E3, then maybe we'll throw another game into the mix. We shall see. So this video revolves around the camp and Red Dead Redemption 2 specifically, how that leads to activities, further backstory, and side missions. So here we go. Now, as we progress through the main story with main protagonist Arthur Morgan, we will have an ongoing gang camp that will be highlighted on the map in a set location, which serves as the player's home base in the game. Now, because Dutch's gang are being chased across the heart of America by the government for narrative reasons, this base of operations may move as you do. But this campsite is where the majority of Dutch's gang will remain and live, whilst Arthur, Dutch, Marston and other specific outlaws execute heists, bank robberies and collect debts to keep the gang's operation funded and supplied. But every member will have their own specific role in camp and their daily duties. The game will work on a schedule. Although if the player chooses to do so, you can greatly contribute towards the camp, but I'll touch on that a little later. Number 1, everyone can be interacted with. So with a press of a button, you can talk to whoever is in the camp. Everyone can be interacted with. So once you've made enough of an impact on the camp by providing food, money, materials, etc., you'll be greeted in a more positive manner as well by camp members, and Arthur will begin to be more respected for his efforts, and he may eventually be rewarded with weapons, unique items, and clothing, etc. Alongside this, you'll gain some extra backstory from your fellow outlaws and learn what they were up to before joining Dutch's gang by just simply stopping to talk to them. Number 2, you gain missions and improve relationships. So interacting with camp members enough and building trust can lead to organic activities and missions. As an example, you may approach John Marston as he sits by the campfire, get to know him throughout your game. Then John may eventually open up as you gain his trust and discuss an issue or problem that he needs resolved, and you as Arthur can then accompany John on this little side quest. So there's somewhat like loyalty missions, which you'll see in the Mass Effect series or any kind of BioWare game, and this goes for the majority of the characters at camp. They all have their own missions, and every single one, as I said, can be interacted with. You gain backstory, and this leads to small yet important character moments. Number 3, you can provide for the camp. So due to Arthur's leadership position in the gang, members expect him to chip in, whether that's providing extra money you just robbed or obtained via a bounty reward, whatever your preference of getting money is, or hunting down a deer and providing deer skins and venison for the camp's feast. So an example of a character mission is you have an option to speak with Pearson, who is the camp's cook, and he'll send you out on a hunting task to obtain some rabbit for the night's meal, or a deer carcass which the camp can then sell. Now that's the most basic version, but you can hunt and supply the camp in many ways, or simply sell that meat for your own gain. And you can also get food by buying it at a local general store. It's your choice. But helping the camp leads to higher morale, and you'll witness them singing songs and telling stories as you return, while if you don't chip in, it'll be quite quiet, more reserved, and they may even hold some ill feelings towards Arthur's lack of contribution and, I guess, leadership skills. Number 4, you can take part in activities. So similar to Grand Theft Auto, in Red Dead Redemption 2, you have the option to take part in specific activities with camp members. So in GTA, you could call up a character, or they could call you. Sometimes they did that a little too much.
And I will kill you.
Nico, it's Roman. Let's go bowling.
You could head for lunch, drinks, or go bowling. Hey cousin, want to go bowling? Sorry, it's a terrible accent. But you get my point. That was in the game. In Red Dead Redemption 2, you'll be able to accompany gang members, go hunting, gambling, drinking at a local town, or play poker, a game of horseshoes, etc. You get it. So hopefully we have the option to bring multiple members with us during an activity, similar to GTA 5, where you could bring Trevor, Franklin, or Michael. It would be cool to see the different dynamics between specific characters. Bringing Bill Williamson, Abigail, and John Marston on a hunting trip would be so awkward yet brilliant, because Bill Williamson kind of brags about sleeping with Abigail, even though Marston obviously has a thing for her. He ends up marrying her, for God's sake. Number 5, neglecting the gang will not affect the narrative. So if you're the type of player who chooses to solely focus on the main story, then rest assured you won't be punished narratively for choosing to ignore the camp. It's perfectly fine. Improving these relationships in camp has no real effect on the narrative, although you'll receive some harsh feedback from specific gang members if you choose to show your sorry face at the camp after weeks of being on the road, but that's about it. Rob Nelson from Rockstar stated during an interview with IGN, fuck IGN, in regards to your role in the camp. So here we go. So you can stay out as long as you want really, and when you come back, they address it accordingly. But you still have to be able to continue on playing the game. They'll notice if you stay out for a long time, they'll notice if you're not pulling your weight around the place. We're trying to cater to as many types of players as we can and have their experience make sense with this character, that character being Arthur Morgan. So disclaimer, you won't get some sort of special ending for helping out at the camp, and it doesn't influence the main storyline, although you'll learn more about your fellow outlaws' backstories, lives, receive missable missions, and the odd reward for your time and efforts. But yeah guys, that is the end of this short video. What do you think of Red Dead Redemption 2's home base, the Outlaw Camp? Personally, I love the addition. Learning about our gang members and gaining more of an attachment to each character is always a good thing in my book, even if it doesn't have an effect on the narrative. It would have been cool, but I get their reasoning for refusing to do that. It gets tricky when you start bringing side activities into the main narrative, and this side stuff can feel like a chore to some players, and I understand that. But that's it lads, more Red Dead Redemption 2 content on the way. We upload Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays at 7 PM GMT. I don't think we really announced that to you guys, so. And if you're on a different time zone, you're smart, you can work that one out I think. Google, I believe in you. And as always guys, thank you so much for watching. For more Red Dead Redemption 2 content, stay tuned here on TripleADigest. Oh man, I'm getting excited about this game. A little too excited. Bye guys.
Yes, everything's absolutely splendid. Walking down the street and you hear that heavy beat, can't help but walk your feet down all the way to me. People laughing and dancing all night long, and through the flashing lights see the band playing their own song.
I like the way you die, boy.